What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and today I want to talk about the Yukon Huskies. Because them puppies are barking. And I want to talk about the Huskies because they have several guys who are projected to be draftees in the 2025 NBA draft. Obviously, the headliner is Liam McNeely, who is a freshman, 6'8", 185 pounds. He's a forward, just overall wing player, right? Has a pretty good shot. He's projected to go somewhere in the mid first round. He could even be a pick that's made at the tail end of the lottery. I could see him going as high as 11 or 12, and falling back maybe as far as mid 20s. He's got a wide range, in my opinion. But a guy who's got an even more difficult time, really, for me at least, pinpointing where he's going to be drafted is Alex Karaban, who has been on UConn now for several years. He is a two-time NCAA champion in 23 and 24. Was second team All Big East this year in 2025 and was Big East All Freshman team in 2023. So he's 22 years old. He was a redshirt, I guess, junior this year. It was technically his senior year of school, but he redshirted his freshman year, so I believe that means he's a redshirt junior. I don't know. He's technically a senior, but he's only played 3 years in college. All right, you understand what I'm trying to say. But he's a 6'8", 225 small forward / power forward. He can stretch the floor a little bit, and he's got a lot of game. Honestly, he's kind of an undersized forward, but he's kind of the dude that fits into the modern day style of the NBA, where he can stretch the floor. He can play inside. He can play outside. His defense is not bad. I think he's a solid defender. He could definitely improve there. But he finished the season averaging 14.3 points per game, 1.5 blocks, which is a big jump from last season. Was averaging 0.8 blocks per game last season. Now 1.5. I believe a lot of that is because Donovan Clingan is no longer on the team. Obviously, Donovan now with the Portland Trailblazers. Shout out Donovan Clingan. Shout out them Connecticut boys. We doing our thing out here, okay? But Alex Karaban has definitely become a much more improved defender, in my opinion. And he's proven that he can play both interior defense and exterior defense on the perimeter, right? 2.8 assists this season, 5.3 rebounds, 82.8% from the free throw line, 34.7% from three, and 43.8% from the field, which is not as good as what he was shooting last season. Was shooting nearly 38% from three last season and 49.5% from the field last season. So there are some things here that, could affect his stock, could not, right? Obviously, he has less offensive weapons on his team this year. Last year, he had Stephon Castle, who's likely going to be the NBA Rookie of the Year for 2025. And he had Donovan Clingan. It's a lot different now when you're really more of the main guy. Obviously, Liam McNeely is more of, a touted talent than Karaban is right now. But I think one of the things if Alex Karaban was a freshman, personally, I'd take him over Liam McNeely. That's just my personal opinion. Not a knock on Liam McNeely, but I just think I've seen more from Karaban. He has a more expansive game thus far, right? Not saying that Liam McNeely will not be a better player than Alex, but who knows? But I always say this is that NBA scouts and GMs are so focused on age. If a dude is 22 or 23 years old, it's like they immediately are just like, all right, well, he's not going to be our first pick, but we'll, if he's around in the late first round, early second round, we'll pick him, right? And that was what Alex's projection was early on, was kind of like mid-second round pick. I even saw him in the late second round, kind of like in the 50s. They started to move up into like the high 40s. And as of recently, I've seen him as like anywhere between like 28th overall and 40 overall, right? But I think this is a dude that can help a lot of teams. Like I said, this is a prototypical guy that in the league can play outside and on the inside, both offensively and defensively. He's got to get a little bit better at, just rounding out his skill set. I think he's got to get better at shooting the three. He's got to get better at perimeter defense. I think he's a very good interior defender, but he's got to bulk up a little bit more. He is 225, so he's a bigger dude that can play, defensively in the post. So there's a lot to like here. The only thing that I don't really know is, obviously if you guys were watching the tournament, you probably saw his emotional press conference where he was like, I don't want to take this jersey off. Right. And he does have one more year of eligibility. He was a redshirt his freshman year, so he could return to UConn. And would I be surprised if he does that? No. Obviously, with the NIL stuff now, a lot of guys can go back to college and be stars there and make more money than they would, just kind of like riding the bench in the league, right? Or being sent down to the G League. If you're going to be a surefire first-round pick, I think it's a no-brainer, go to the league, right? But for a guy like Alex Karaban, he doesn't know if he's going to get picked in the first round or the second round. Or if he might go undrafted, right? Like there's a possibility that could happen. So for him, it might be like, okay, let me stay one more year, get this NIL money, count my paper, and, be a star for this UConn team. Because Liam McNeely's probably leaving. I'm just saying, like, he's probably going to go. And I hope he gets drafted. Shout out the UConn boys. I want all of them to get drafted. And, if I'm Karaban, I feel like you can't, there's more ways it could go wrong by declaring for the draft right now than there is from returning to UConn and then trying to declare for the draft again. The only thing is that he's going to be a year older then, right? He's already, I think November is his birthday, right? When's his birthday? November 11th. So by the time the NBA season starts up, he's going to turn 23 pretty quick, right? If he waits another year, he's going to turn 24 right when the season starts. Being a draftee in 2026 as opposed to 2025. So for me, I'm like, even if you play a little bit better, right? So let's say he averages 17 points per game next season on UConn, ups his stats, he might still get picked in the second round. But I don't think his stock is improving that dramatically if he stays another year, right? So if you want to go to the league, I suggest you do it now. If you're just trying to get that paper and be a great basketball player, stay at UConn. Try to win another natty champ. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to really tell this guy, but I do think he deserves to be in the league. I think he's earned it. Anyone who has 2 NCAA championships should get drafted in the NBA. I'm just saying, it's not like he's warming the bench either. This dude has been a big part of the championships. So that's just my take. I don't know if he's going to enter the draft. If he does, though, I could see him getting picked in the second round. I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick. But hey, if he enters the draft, Wizards got a couple of second-round picks. I hope they take this dude. Because, like I said, super versatile type of forward that you want on any team nowadays. There's a lot of things that he can do. He can play inside. He can play outside. He can guard guys in the post a little bit. He can guard guys on the perimeter a little bit. He's got to get better being, quicker on his feet. But that's about it, man. I think there's a lot of potential for Alex Karaban, and I think he could have a really good NBA career. I think he could be like a more versatile and more athletic Georges Niang. Because Lord knows Georges Niang is really not an athletic player, right? But Georges Niang hits those threes, man. He is a shooter, right? So we'll see what happens, but I'm a fan of Alex Karaban. Like I said, shout out the UConn Huskies. Those puppies going off. And that's about it, man. So if you guys are familiar with Alex's game, please leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about him and his draft stock. Where do you think he will land in the draft if he does declare? Do you think he will declare? Do you think he's going to go back to UConn? Let me know your thoughts because I want to talk about it. So let's link, let's build, let's conversate. But that's all I got, guys. I'm going to catch you later. Stay safe, stay up, stay humble, handle business, stay on business. Peace out.